Princess, I'm sure that's not true. I glare at Waltz as tears well in my eyes. It was my fault. Waltz falls silent as he studies my face, then sighs before taking my hand. We'll sort this out at the march-in. Come on. Oh my god. Garland died. This is not good. As soon as the march-in doors close behind us, 𝐸𝐸𝐿 collapses. 𝐸𝐸𝐿! Luckily, I'm close enough to catch one of her arms, and Waltz is fast enough to catch the other. Move her to the chair. Together, we manage to guide 𝐸𝐸𝐿 to the chair. We set her down on it as gently as we can. I watch as she unfolds on the chair, and that is when I see the dark red slashes and tears on her clothing. Some of her wounds are open and visibly bleeding. She's still bleeding. Waltz pulls a cloth from his back pocket and hands it to me. Clean what you can. I'll get Lady Parfait and Rumple. He runs off, leaving me alone with 𝐸𝐸𝐿. It looks like she's bleeding everywhere. I steel myself and kneel by her side. Gently, I reach out and begin to wipe at the worst of what I can see. 𝐸𝐸𝐿 moans, and I flinch in sympathy. I am sorry. I feel a lump rise in my throat. I convinced Garland to go back. If I hadn't, he wouldn't have... 𝐸𝐸𝐿 shifts slightly to put her hand on my cheek. Her touch is cool and gentle. 𝐸𝐸𝐿? There is a softness in her gaze and an inexplicable kindness in the touch of her hand. Aww. After a moment, 𝐸𝐸𝐿 slowly nods and her eyes fall closed on a sigh. Wait, is she okay? 𝐸𝐸𝐿? 𝐸𝐸𝐿! No! Waltz! She just closed her eyes. She's not speaking. She's not going to die too, is she? No. Not if I have anything to say about it. Excuse me, princess. Rumple gently pushes me aside and I let him, hovering over his shoulder as he crouches to inspect 𝐸𝐸𝐿. Well? Princess. No. Waltz steps beside me and gently places his hand on my arm. What? Rumple needs to work his magic now. And? So, why don't we get you something to drink, I'm not going to leave her. Princess, please. We should let Rumple work. I look back over my shoulder, watching how carefully Rumple attends to 𝐸𝐸𝐿. Okay. Oh my gosh, she better not die. She better not, otherwise, like, my anger towards Hildur is gonna be up to a 10. Waltz's hands acts as my lifeline as he helps me into the tavern area. My legs become weaker with every step. Hi, stranger. Hi, Delora. I only realize that I'm running to her after I barrel into her. I bury my face in her shoulder as I suppress a sob. Delora's arms come around me, holding me tight as whatever calm facade I was holding up comes apart at the seams. Waltz, would you please get those mugs? Of course. Delora leads me to one of the benches, one of her arms still around me so she can rub my back. Somehow, the simple gesture is helping me calm down. Lucette, are you hurt? I shake my head. Thank goodness for that. I stay in her embrace until Waltz returns to place something on the table. How are we doing? I pull away reluctantly to rub at my eyes. I'm okay. Delora takes the mug and places it in my hand. Good, now drink. I do not question and raise the mug to my mouth. Hot chocolate. Delora made this for me before. Aww! I take a few deep swallows of the hot, sweet liquid. Better? Yes. Lucette, can you tell me what happened? Mother found us in the tunnels. Okay. 𝐸𝐸𝐿 told Garland to get me out. My throat threatens to close, but I force the words out. Mother is so strong, and I thought 𝐸𝐸𝐿 might not survive, so I convinced Garland to go back, and that's when... I stare down at my mug, my hands trembling. It's my fault. It's all my fault. If I hadn't convinced Garland to go back, Mother wouldn't have killed him. The silence in the tavern is deafening, but honestly, if we hadn't gone back, 𝐸𝐸𝐿 probably would have died. So either way, I feel like one of them would have died with the choices that we had. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't have gone back. Finish your hot chocolate, Lucette. I obey without a word. Everyone's going to be so angry with me. It's my fault Garland is dead, and it's my fault 𝐸𝐸𝐿 is injured. Have you heard about your stepfamily? I know they're gone. Are they dead as well because of me? Hey, you don't look like that. I have you know that I had to use a sleeping spell on Prince Rod and Princess Emmeline earlier. They heard about what 𝐸𝐸𝐿 and Garland were going to do tonight. I don't think I would have been able to stop them from coming along on the rescue mission otherwise. What? You got them out, Princess. Var would have killed them if you hadn't stepped in. The queen was already waiting at the end of the tunnel on the day the prince and princess escaped. 𝐀𝐻𝐿 must have somehow gotten wind of the escape plan, which is why he had Varg try to eliminate them then and there. Security tightened more after that day. Oh, thank goodness. And we've been worrying about you ever since you left. Well, ever since you stormed out all those months ago. Dolores' smile is sad as she reaches up to push my hair out of my face. None of this was your fault, Lucette. If anything, it was mine and Parfait's, for letting this happen. We tried to help you escape, but we couldn't break the shield around the palace in fear of putting everyone inside in danger. That is why we had to wait. We never thought we'd have to worry about Hildur being revived. And though we would have liked to save you outside of the palace, that's right. I was out of the palace more than a couple of times, once with Varg and another with Mother. We couldn't put the lives of others in danger when Hildur was right there. She would have killed the citizens. Even if I had wanted to escape the day I was with Varg, he wouldn't have let me. I gripped my now empty mug. Princess. I understand how you feel and I know it's difficult, but frankly we have bigger fish to fry. I think you realize now what kind of person Hildur is. Yep, I do. Then you know what we have to do. I know too well what it is we must do. In fact, I knew this was bound to happen sooner or later. I started this. I do not know if I can fix everything, and I do not know if I can save Angielle. But no matter how long it might take, I must make things. Sorry about the background noise, everyone. My house is super loud, and I can't do anything about it. And if you hear, like, pattering, it's because it's raining right now. But no matter how long it might take, I must make things right. I finally look up at Dolores and nod. We have to stop Mother. Chapter 9, Rebellion. Ooh, oh my god. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay. Because of the severity of Jurian's wounds, Rumple decided he would bring her to the nearest clinic so she could be better cared for. Oh, wow. Okay. Anise decided to go with him, and surprisingly, Ophelia and her children all opted to go as well. Now, the only ones left here at the tavern are me, Dolores, Waltz, and Karma. They may not say it, but I'm sure they are blaming me for what's happening to Angielle right now. I need to make things right. I closed my eyes as a sudden boat. I have no clue how you say that. Of dizziness comes over me. Mother has always been the person that mattered most to me. I never questioned or disobeyed her because she was so important. She was my light in days that were often so dark. But I have no choice. If Mother isn't stopped, who knows how many more lives will be lost. The only way to stop Mother is to kill her, isn't it? I'm sorry, but this really is the only way. Yes, I know. But I do not think I could kill her myself. Is that foreshadowing? No, I hope not. Dolores has an annoying look in her eyes as she turns to address Waltz. We'll leave as soon as Parfait comes back from her meeting with the fairies. If you can fully use your magic, then we may actually stand a chance. Magic? What are you talking about? Waltz is just a street magician. What help could he be? Don't underestimate our magician. Waltz is a witch and a lot stronger than he looks. He's cursed, don't you remember, Lucette? Waltz is a witch? You know, I have the Neverland curse, yes. I do not know that fairy tale, but what does it have to do with anything? Your mother was a witch that cursed me? What? But Waltz, if you are also a witch, how can you be cursed? Your mother is the Tenebrem bearer, which means she has the power to punish all witches if she chooses. As to why he was cursed, Waltz's expression darkens. Hildur needed to be stopped. I knew I couldn't defeat her alone, so I enlisted the help of the fairies. I betrayed her and she punished me before she died. Waltz almost single-handedly brought about the end to the Great War. Wow, okay. He's the reason we've been enjoying this peace for as long as we have. I never knew. Of course, you can only imagine how displeased Hildur was with Waltz. Hildur stole my shadow and stole it away in Neverland. Your shadow? We really need to work on your fairy tale knowledge one of these days, Princess. Peter Pan is a boy that lives in Neverland, which is a place where children never grow up. Waltz's curse means that he has been frozen in a child's body since Hildur cursed him all those years ago. He can't grow up and he can't use any magic. Well, I can still do some spells, but only simple, harmless ones. For Waltz to get his magic back, he needs to find Tinkerbell, which is the key to Neverland. We need to unlock his shadow. But all this time, you never found Tinkerbell or Neverland. I've looked everywhere I can think of. I'm sure she cast a spell on it to make it more difficult to locate, even in the palace. Dolores snorts and I suddenly feel embarrassed. Oh, of course not. Why would Waltz look in the palace in the first place? I mean, especially considering Hildur is the queen and has numerous secret chambers for things she wants to keep hidden. Looking through the entirety of the palace for a small box might be difficult. Neverland is a box that was left to me by my parents. It's made of gold with carvings that resemble a pair of wings. What? Waltz jumps at my sudden reaction. Princess, that box. I have forgotten about it, but I can vaguely remember an old box in my room that matches that description. Oh, no way! Mother left me a trinket box and a key that matched that description. She told me never to touch the box or to let anyone see it. I've had it for years. All this time, Tinkerbell and Neverland were with you? I never knew what was inside. I was too afraid to disobey Mother's orders. The thought of her giving you that box never even crossed my mind, but now thinking back on it, it makes sense. I want to ask him what that means, but we are running out of time. I will have to ask him about it at a later time. I can get Neverland and Tinkerbell to you. I can return your magic. Okay. With Waltz back to street form, we may have a fighting chance at this. So what do we do first? We? There isn't a we in this, Lucette. Only us. But I just said I could help. It is too dangerous, Princess. But I'm the only one who knows where to find the box. Then you will tell us where it is and we'll retrieve it. It's as simple as that. Girl, no. I scowled at her with my arms crossed. I refuse to stay here and be useless while everyone else puts themselves at risk saving Angielle. Angielle is this way because I brought back Mother. I must take responsibility. And I will not let anyone else die at Mother's hands. Lucette. Mother is less likely to harm me. I have a better chance of getting Neverland and Tinkerbell without causing a disturbance. How can you say that after what's already happened? You're not safe either, Lucette. Oh my god. What is going on? No sooner has she said the words that a terrible blast echoes through the margin. No. No. Oh no, oh no. I cough as smoke envelops the tavern. A silhouette emerges in front of us and I feel my blood turn cold when I realize who it is. No, Varg. Just when I thought I was safe, Varg reappears. Oops. I always forget how powerful this thing can get. How are you here? Oh my god. He's cursed. That's why he's here. That's why he can see the place. Where previously there had been a wall made of stone, sturdy and strong, there is now a sizable hole. Oh. Remnants of brick and stone collapse inward in the aftermath. The dust rises to settle around Varg's feet where he stands casually twirling his cane. Hope I'm not disturbing anything, but all the doors were locked. Karma? Delora and I turn and glance at the wall behind us where Waltz is looking. Karma is standing there injured. Oh no. His forehead has a large gash and one of his arms is limp and useless. Oh no. He still manages to tightly grip the hilt of his sword with his other hand. Where did Karma come from? I would have appreciated you destroying this property when you knocked on a tavern door. And I would have appreciated it if you'd gotten out of my way when I asked politely, so I wouldn't have had to resort to explosions. Seems both of us are disappointed. What do you want, Varg? Don't we already all know the answer to that question? Come on. Varg turns to look at me expectantly. I thought the stolen goods would be brought here. What did you just call me? Karma lets out a harsh laugh. Has no one told you that women do not like being imprisoned against their will? Has no one told you people that it's not good to steal? I am not an item to be stolen or imprisoned. I ball my hands into fists. I cannot let Varg hurt anyone here. I have no idea if this will work. But if Fritz is truly is fighting, wait, what? But if Fritz is truly is okay, never mind. But if I've said this thing like 5 times. But if Fritz truly is fighting, then he must be able to hear my voice. Fritz. Varg growls, his eyes bright and angry as he glares at me. You need to give up on him, princess. Never. Fritz, I know you're still in there. No matter what you say, nothing will change. Fritz is gone. Adiuva. He won't. Varg chokes on his words and doubles over. You are being very annoying. Did it work? Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Karma preparing to attack while Varg is momentarily weakened. But something does not feel right. Karma, stop! What? Get the princess away from here. What's happening? That voice. Fritz! Despite the fact that it is Varg standing before me, it is most certainly Fritz looking at me through those eyes. Please, I don't know how long I can hold him here. You all need to get out of here while you still can. You need to keep the princess safe. Keep her away from the palace. Waltz, get her out of here now. No! I dodge Waltz's reaching hands as I attempt to run towards Fritz. Keep her safe, please. Now! No, don't hurt him! Oh my god. Karma runs forward, his sword raised, just as Waltz grabs my hand and pulls me out of the way. No! Time slows as I watch Varg slowly come back to coherence. His lips curl into a snarl as he begins to bring down his cane down to the floor. Oh no. Delora throws her hand out, the collected light racing toward Varg. Varg stumbles back, his cane never hitting the floor. Varg growls as he glares up at Delora. Witches are so inconvenient. Unfortunately, Delora is not the only inconvenience in this room. Varg raises his cane to block Karma's next swing. Waltz grips my hand and tugs. We have to go, princess. I glance back at Karma and Delora. There must be something I can do. Follow Waltz or help him. I don't know. Help? Help them. Yeah. My eyes drift toward Varg's cane. That cane is a source of magic. If I can get away from him, then Delora and Karma will stand a chance. With renewed determination, I run toward Varg. Princess. I barreled past Karma and hit Varg square in the gut with my shoulder, forcing him backwards into the ground. I managed to twist the cane away from him and clutch it as Varg rises and begins to advance toward me. No time for games. Give it back. No. You really are nothing without your cane, aren't you? For a moment, there is only silence as Varg freezes. I cannot read the expression on his face. What is he thinking? Varg breaks the silence when he bursts out laughing. It is a sound that heralds certain chaos. The cane is not my only weapon. I watch as Varg slips a dagger out from his sleeve. A dagger? And what are you gonna do with that little thing? Poke me? Who said anything about you? Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, he looks insane. Look at his eyes! Oh my god. With a smirk, Varg brings the dagger to his neck. Oh no. This dagger is more than enough to do some damage to the princess's favorite knight. No! Now that is definitely cheating! This is ridiculous. You share a body. You'll end up hurting yourself as well. Varg shrugs, and I cannot tell if he is really unconcerned or pretending to be. I'll do whatever it takes. Varg smiles at me in this light. His teeth appear to be gleaming and sharp like he has fangs. Now give me back my cane and do precisely as I tell you or the boy dies. Oh my god. I stand still. I cannot look away from Varg's gaze, which is bright with triumph. If Fritz dies, you die as well. Are you not afraid of death? I was never really alive to begin with. I'm just a bit of Fritz's mind given independence. This body isn't mine, so I can destroy it and not feel a thing. It will be Fritz that suffers. Princess, don't listen to him. You know it's a trap. I know Waltz is telling the truth. I can see it in the look on Varg's face. I grip the cane tighter to me. Varg is lying. He will definitely suffer, but he is also serious about hurting Fritz, and I cannot let that happen. Now do as you're told, little princess. Don't be stupid, Lucette. You'll leave everyone here alone. Varg nods, amusement flickering in his eyes, as my princess commands. Princess, don't. I am so sorry. But just as I start to move toward Varg, a bright light shines out from beneath me. Or, wait, behind me or beneath me? The shield of light pushes forward and past me, shoving Varg back and out through the hole he'd made in the wall. I turn, barely able to believe what I see. Parfait! She comes to stand in front of me. Listen closely. We don't have much time. Parfait's eyes flicker to 𝐕𝐬𝐬, who is shifting ever so slightly in the rubble. Even I can tell that he is temporarily out of commission. Tomorrow night, meet us at the palace gates. Bring Neverland and Tinker Bell with you. But do you understand? I falter as I imagine what Parfait could possibly be planning, but I have no time and I can read nothing in her gaze. There is nothing else for me to do but nod in understanding. Yes, I understand. Parfait smiles at me and she caresses my hand with a gentle hand. I have faith in you, princess. Well, we all do. You'll be fine. Parfait. Parfait grabs me by the shoulders and forcefully pushes me toward 𝐕𝐬𝐬. He catches me, his hands firmly gripping my shoulders as I am careened into him. Keep her safe, Fritz. 𝐕𝐬𝐬 flinches. He is inhaling and getting ready to speak when the air around us suddenly thins and we are swallowed by light. Oh, we're back at the palace? When I'm able to breathe again, I open my eyes and see that I am back at the palace. Did Parfait transport us? I become aware that 𝐕𝐬𝐬 still has his hands on my shoulders and I wrench free from his grip. Strange that your friends would actually send you back here with me. Seems like they need you to retrieve something from the palace. Oh my god. 𝐕𝐬𝐬 reaches out and snatches his cane from my hands. I'm not letting you leave the palace again, princess. The palace is eerily silent, and it is as if none of the chaos that just transpired ever happened, like it was all a dream. I ignore 𝐕𝐬𝐬 and walk back through the gates as I suffocate the seething turmoil inside of me. Just try and stop me. I slam my bedroom door behind me and lock it. It's only been a few hours since I was here, since Jerry and Garland. I close my eyes and will the memories away. Now is not the time. I must keep my promise to Parfait. I begin to search through my drawers. I could have sworn that this is the last place I saw Neverland and Tinker Bell. There it is. Oh, there's the key. Tinker Bell, an elaborate golden key, is exactly where I remember leaving it. I place it carefully under my lamp so as to keep it hidden from sight. But where's Neverland? I nearly turn my room upside down looking for it, but I never find the golden box. It should be here. Why isn't it here? My body is heavy after all that happened today, and I soon find myself collapsed on my bed. It will be fine. I have until midnight tomorrow to find it. I'll continue looking in the morning. I don't think we'll find the box. My sleep is broken and disjointed, so when dawn comes filtering through my windows, I'm already half awake. I pull myself out of bed and rub at my eyes. I need to find Neverland. I retrieve Tinker Bell from where I'd hidden it and slip the key into my pocket. Then with renewed determination, I continue my search. Why isn't it here? It had been right next to Tinker Bell. I feel like I would remember had I moved it. But I did drop Neverland months ago, didn't I? I've been meaning to get it fixed, but I'd always forgot. But it's not here. That means someone must have taken it, but who? Would Mother or Mithras have taken it? Where should I look? Ooh. The throne room, maybe? I don't see why it would be in the dining hall. It's gonna be in the throne room. Thankfully, when I get to the throne room, it is empty, but where do I even begin to look? Out of the corner of my eye, I notice something sparkle from the throne. I rush toward the throne and unable to believe my dumb luck. Okay, so that's the box. Okay, open it. The box is definitely there, sitting right in front of me. I found it, but why is it just sitting here? Something feels off. Oh, hi, Hilder, if it isn't my disobedient daughter. I reach out and snatch Neverland to hold it to my chest. I have to keep Neverland and Tinker Bell safe, no matter what. I'm glad to see one of my servants is capable. Still, I wonder why 𝐕𝐬𝐬 did not report his success in retrieving you. 𝐕𝐬𝐬 did not tell her? I shall have a word with that cur. Mother walks toward me. I was not amused when you left the palace, Lucette, but I thought that sooner or later Faye would send you here to retrieve something. You were a very good girl for keeping that box safe as I told you to. But I see it was a mistake to leave you here while I was attending to Mithras' reports. I clutched Neverland tighter. This does not belong to you. Mother's voice is ice cold when she speaks. Oh? You hurt me so much last night. I hope you're not planning on leaving me again. I know you're hurting too, dearest one. I know you want to stay here with me. Mother sighs, and suddenly I can see the mother from my memories, the one that held me close and snugged me to sleep at night. If Faye hadn't interfered, you would be so much happier. Faye? Once upon a time, she was a dear friend. We were like sisters until she betrayed me. She is no doubt going by a different name to hide her true nature from you. But you now know that she is pulling you from your birthright. You were happier when you could not remember, weren't you? What? Oh, my darling. Mother reaches for me and I cannot move as she sets a hand on my cheek. I have only ever wanted to protect you, Lucette. I have only ever wanted the best for you. Mother gently runs a hand through my hair. I sacrificed so much so that my daughter could be a crown princess. I did not want to erase your memories. What? But I knew how much it would hurt you if you knew my true nature. And I knew how sad you would be if you knew just how much your father did not love us, either of us. And all because of his ridiculous love for that wretched Herla and her whelps. The very same commoner he married after I was gone, the woman he sought to marry from the start. Ophelia? The king has left Ophelia for so long? Isn't that unbelievable that he was still so loyal to her even after he had me? I should have made good on my threat and just killed her, regardless of whether Gennaro did as I demanded. But he has always hated witches. That is why he is so cruel to you, why he was so cruel to both of us. Dearest one, we only have each other, so it was and so it will be. I am the only one that will never hurt you, the only one you ever need to love and obey. Your longing for anyone else, your memories of anyone else, they are all unnecessary. Now be a good girl and listen to mother. Do we run or refuse? I don't know. If we run, she's just gonna go after us. Refuse? I flinch away from mother's reaching hand. Mother hurt the king. She hurt so many people. She killed Garland. No. What did you say to me? I cannot let her hurt anyone else. No. Mother's eyes glitter as light begins to collect in her palm. I can only hear your disobedience for so long, Lucette. It seems you require disciplining. Mother raises her hands, the light reflecting the cruelty in her gaze that I am now too familiar with. Knowing I couldn't outrun her, I turn my back and hold Neverland to my chest. I must protect Neverland. The air crackles, and I brace myself for whatever mother might unleash. I feel a hand on my back, and then I am pushed away. I fall down on the ground hard. What was that? Delora! You. Did you miss me? Delora! How did you get in here? I had some help. Princess! Fritz? No. Fritz runs toward me and holds out his hand to help me up. Fritz? I thought I lost you. It was only for a second, but he pulls me close to him in a hug. I would never leave you. Oh. Fritz's arms tighten around me briefly before he releases me. We both turn to face mother. You were going to hurt her, your own daughter. This is no concern of yours. And even if it was, what could you hope to achieve? You are so much weaker than the wolf, so much weaker than Varg. Fritz's body stiffens. Even now, you only can cling to a shred of control. Tell me, Sir Fitzgerald, how much longer until you are completely erased? He was strong enough to resist Varg, so much so that he was able to get in here past your guards and your barriers. I think that makes Fritz plenty strong. I do not recall giving the traitor permission to speak. Do not think I've forgotten how you betrayed me, Delora. I haven't forgotten anything either, Hildur. Loria was only a child. Who is that? Her fate was entirely your doing. Who are you talking about? Loria was my daughter. Oh my god! I've never heard Delora speak of a child. I'd always opposed Hildur's actions. I disagreed with her creation of the Fairytale Curse from the beginning. But when I voiced my opinions out loud, she targeted my daughter. She killed her in front of me. Oh my god. Suddenly everything in the room is still. The two women glare at each other, but neither one of them moves. You were not there when our kind was being hunted and slaughtered like animals in their own homes. I am the tenant bearer. I felt each of their deaths like they were my own. Retribution was necessary, but you, being so holy and so good, it took little Loria's death for you to understand the anguish of our brethren, to comprehend my anguish. I would not have killed her if you were not so blind. She was only 10, and she suffered for your weakness. Dolora holds out her arm and sweeps it across the room, lightning traveling up her arm. Fritz tugs me around one of the columns and then presses my back into the coolness of the pillar. He holds himself against me, acting as a shield. Don't move. The ground shakes as Dolora releases her spell. You think you can defeat me when you haven't even been in training? How foolish. Please, I have no intention of defeating you. Fritz. Cover your ears, princess. Too confused to question him, I obey. I hear the sound of lightning cackling in the air, followed by an explosion. Oh my god, the column comes crashing down into the other side of the room. Time to go. Fritz's hand tightens around mine. When we run out of the throne room with Dolora, as Mother's screech sounds through the room behind us. Are you okay? Yes, I'm alright. It's nighttime. I'm just so glad you're here. Fritz. See what I tell you? What are you talking about? Your knight here was scared that you wouldn't want to see him anymore after what happened yesterday. Fritz's fingers tighten over my own. If only I was strong enough to fight Varg, I could have. It wasn't your fault, Fritz. But what matters is that you are here now. Aww. Fritz looks at me and smiles. How did you know where I would be? Intuition and magic. Well, yes, and magic. Do you have Tinkerbell? I hold Neverland in one hand as I reach with my other to search for the key in my pocket. Thankfully, my fingers still brush against the cool metal. It's in my pocket. Good, very good. Whatever happens, you must get Neverland and Tinkerbell to the Marchant, okay? I nod my head. That's a good girl. Well then, what are we waiting for? Why are we not leaving? Parfait said to be here at midnight. What time is it? We're too early. Sometimes Parfait is early too. Looks like tonight is not one of those nights though. It looks like my coming early was both a blessing and a setback. She's using the name Parfait. How sweet. Oh god. Oh god. Fritz steps in front of me as Mother reappears in front of us. Aww. Stay behind me. Fritz. I would never forgive myself if you got hurt. Please, stay behind me. Fritz smiles gently at me. My chest aches at the sight. Everything will be alright, I promise. I promise I'll protect you. I know you will. Aww. Fritz, Lucette must make it at all costs. I do not like the sound of that. And you must understand why I cannot let you take my daughter from me. Oh, you took mine. Dolora's hands begin to glow. Perhaps this time Lucette shall watch as you die, Dolora. No! Well, you can try and kill me, but your chances are slim. I have a very good night with me, and I think he likes me more than he likes you. That can be remedied. Mother flicks her wet wrist. Dolora holds out her own hand as if to prepare for the impact of a spell, but the magic never comes. Mother's not aiming for Dolora. With a gasp, Fritz drops his swords and falls to his knees. Fritz. Come along, Varg. I won't let you. That's when I realize that Mother is calling for Varg. Her hand twists in the air, manipulating Fritz's body to copy its movements. His body reefs and turns as he struggles to remain himself. Now. No, Fritz. Princess, I'm sorry, but I can't. Fritz looks at me one last time before the familiar darkness envelops his body. Oh, Fritz. Now, Varg, be a good dog and get Lucette back to her room. When Varg appears, he is standing absolutely still, his eyes surveying everything calmly. There is an intensity to them, but it is sharp and contained. I flinch back from Varg's bright eyes. No. Varg? You are going to hurt her. Pardon? I don't intend to obey someone who would hurt the princess. Mother hisses in annoyance. Wow. I do not know how you inspire such loyalty, Lucette, but it is very inconvenient. Mother flicks her wrist and a responding light flares out from behind her. My queen? Oh, Mithros! Great, reinforcements. I order you to restrain your pet, Mithros. At once, my queen. Mithros extends his hand toward Varg, and the minute he does, Varg's body... I need to turn up the music. Cannot hear it at all. Mithras extends his hand toward Varg, and the minute he does, Varg's body stiffens and he grits his teeth. I always make sure to have control over my creations. Wait, let me turn this down a little bit. I don't want it to be so loud. This is not going as planned. You had a plan? Now, my darling. My hands shake and Neverland nearly tumbles from my hands as I struggle not to collapse. Since you have become so tainted by the thoughts these people have put in your head, I shall have to start all over again. But don't be afraid. Cleansing your memories will not hurt. And when you wake, you will be my daughter again, my dearest one. Oh my god. Mother reaches out her hand toward me. Every fiber of my being screams at me to move, but my feet are heavy and I am shaking so hard that I cannot stand straight. I do not want to forget anything or anyone anymore. Why is the clock? Behind me, the clock tower begins to chime. Not on my watch. Delora quickly runs in front of me and casts a protective shield. Delora, you can't. I will not let her erase any of your memories, Lucette. Oh my god. I brace myself for impact and I feel the ground shudder as Mother's spell comes in contact with Delora's shield. A loud crack emanates from Delora's shield as it begins to crack. An offensive spell. You were going to kill your own daughter. Delora's words fade when we see another spell coming towards us. I hear a low laugh rise from Mother's throat. Goodbye, Delora. No! Lucette, run! Oh my god, Delora! I cough as clouds of smoke slowly fade away after the impact. No. No! My whole body feels as hollow as ice as I gaze at the sight before me. Delora's body lies on the floor and in front of me, unmoving. What? Oh my gosh. I collapse to the ground, my vision blurry as I stare numbly at Delora's limp figure. No, this cannot be. I reach out to touch her and sharply inhale when I feel how cold and clammy her skin is. No, Delora. Always conjure another shield after being hit by a powerful spell. Have you forgotten your lessons, traitor? Now she can finally reunite with her daughter. No! Neverland tumbles from my grasp as I grab Delora's arm to shake her. No, Delora, please. She's still breathing. She can be saved. She cannot die like this. A bright light appears before me and suddenly Parfait is standing right in front of me. Hilda, what have you done? Faye, it's been a while. Parfait addresses me without looking back. Princess, do you have Neverland? Yes. I reach blindly for Neverland with one hand as I keep the other on Delora's arm. A warm hand settles on my shoulders. The touch is comforting and familiar. Have faith, Princess. I will not allow you to leave, Fairy. No. Mithras casts his magic, but Parfait easily deflects it. She moves to cast a spell in retaliation, but doubles over as soon as the spell flares out around her. You are fading, Faye. The Lucius itself is fading with you. What? My eyes lock with Varg, and for a moment I can see Fritz through him. I see his lips move, but whatever words he speaks to me are mute. He shakes his head. What? Light begins to engulf me, and I see nothing apart from Delora's pale face on my lap. We're back in the margin? Oh my god, what just happened? I do not move, even when the marching walls come into existence around me. The place is devoid of its usual warmth. Delora, she's not responding. I fight down the rising grief and try to remain calm as I turn to Parfait. Please save her. Save her! Parfait glances down at Delora, eyes glassy. It is as if she is hiding emotions behind a frigid mask. I feel that her mask is a reflection of my own. Any moment now it will fall away and I'll be able to see her tears. Princess, the spell that Hilda used was a powerful one. There's nothing I can do. What? The air in the margin seems to leave all at once. No, that's not true. You have to. Lucette, Delora? She does not move and her eyes are still closed as she speaks. Lucette, I'm sorry, but I can't stay. No, don't say that. I've been lucky. Hilda took my Gloria. But I got you in return. I like to think that my daughter would have grown up to be someone like you. Delora. I believe in you, Lucette. I've always believed in you. You cannot leave Delora. I won't let you leave. Though Delora's body does not move, I can feel her energy of her body slip through my fingers like sand. Her body slowly begins to fade away until only specks of glaring golden dust remain. A terrible prickling cold seeps into my heart and chest, and the frigidness envelops my whole body. I cannot breathe. It is only when a teary-eyed parfait pulls me into a hug that I realize my throat is raw and that I have been screaming in grief. Oh my god. This game is, like, insane. I do not remember being tucked into bed. In the silence of the dark night, I can feel the absence of Delora like a hole in my chest. Sleepless hours tick by in a haze until the morning sun creeps through the window. Lucette, you didn't get any sleep, did you? I shake my head. I wish I could give you time to grieve. She died protecting me. I cover my face with my hands, and hot tears that I thought had dried begin pouring from my eyes again. Both of them, Garland and Delora, died because of me. This is my fault. If only I was strong enough, I could have. No, princess. If it is anyone's fault, it is mine. Both Delora and Parfait keep owning up to this blame, but do either of them deserve any of it? God. Your mother and I were like sisters once. I cannot bring myself to hurt her. Because of that, I didn't act in time to save her from the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻's corruption. If you are seeking to blame anyone, blame me. I am responsible for all of this needless pain, all because I could not stop Hildur. I was too afraid and now I'm too weak. But what could you have done? Mother is... I don't think anything can stop Mother. The Lucius and the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐵 are inextricably linked to each other and to their bearers. The crystalline cannot exist without either. If one is destroyed, so is the other. What are you saying? We can stop Hildur if we destroy the Lucius. That would destroy the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐵 as well. Parfait, that's insane. This world has suffered from magic for 3 centuries. Maybe it is more good than bad. Perhaps the only solution is to remove the source of it forever? What? But Mother only survived because she was a 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻 bearer. She lived so long as the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻 exists. If the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻 is destroyed, Hildur should die. So you're suggesting we destroy the 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐻 through destroying the Lucius. Parfait smiles at me, but I find no comfort in it. I will only say it's my time. You cannot be serious. There has to be another way. There has already been so much suffering. Delora and Garland did not die, so you would have to give up your life as well. I'm not saying we make a decision now. After what happened with Varg, I have strengthened... I need to turn this down. I have strengthened the merchant's defenses and added glamour. For now, we are safe here. Breakfast will be ready soon. Join us when you're able. The others will need to know what happened last night. You can tell them. There must be another way to stop Mother. There has to be. By the time I make it to the dining area, the food is cold. I am not surprised by the state of the food, but seeing Walt in a grown-up body is definitely shocking. Wait, what? Adult Walt? Hello? Oh my god, wow! Oh my god, you broke your curse! Wow, he looks really different. Oh, princess. Walt quickly makes his way over to me and kneels down. He looks almost like a knight, though he is lacking the armor. Thank you for breaking my curse. At least I was able to do something good, but still. Aren't we still cursed? No, we broke our curse. Oh yeah, never mind. What am I saying? Our curse was broken. I do not notice the tears rolling down my cheeks until he calls my title softly. Princess? Oh. Oh, what's this? Waltz the Big has made the princess cry? No, it isn't Waltz. Delora believed I could accomplish 3 good deeds, and yet You like hot chocolate, right, darling? I'll get the mugs. Gently, Waltz leads me to a bench and sits next to me. Parfait hasn't told him what happened to Delora yet. All of them are smiling at me, trying to cheer me up, but how can I possibly smile now? I need to tell you all something. Why do we have to tell them? Hot chocolate first, talking later. You look pale, like you didn't sleep at all last night. And have you even eaten recently? Now that I think about it, no, I haven't. Rod? Oh gosh. Rod, who I hadn't even realized was back in the march, stiffly stands up from his chair and walks away. He was here this whole time, just listening quietly in the corner. Did I say something wrong? Walt smiles at me as he pats my shoulder. We've sent Anise off to look after Jurian, so it's just us at the march-in. Rod's been taking care of me, so he's probably gonna go get you something to eat. But why? Rod has never liked me. You saved his family from Varg, Princess. I doubt he minds cracking a few eggs for you. Rod comes back into the room and places utensils in a plate in front of me. It is filled with toast and scrambled eggs. I know it's not much, but you need to eat. I have no appetite, but he is right. I pick up my fork and stab a few eggs to try. This is good. Thank you. No problem. Aww. Suddenly, I'm incredibly aware of how famished I am. I shovel the rest of the food into my mouth eagerly. I'm eating the last remnants of my toast when Rumple comes back into the room holding far too many mugs for one person to manage. And I present to you hot chocolate a la Rumple. Waltz jumps up to save the several mugs from Rumple's precarious hold. Ah, hot chocolate, how lovely. I knew this would happen, so I made plenty. Waltz and Rumple place the mugs on the table. Rumple counts all of them. 5, 6, wait. Where's Lady Delora? The fork I'm holding clatters to the plate. It is the only sound in the suddenly quiet room. Delora passed away last night. What? The atmosphere shifts. Everyone is openly frowning with their eyes filled with regret. So the night ended up being a turncoat after all. Fritz had nothing to do with it. Fritz helped Delora get to me just when Mother was going to take Neverland. We all would have made it out alive if Mother hadn't used her magic to summon Varg. Mother was going to erase all my memories again, and I did not know what to do, so I just stood there. It was just like what happened with Garland, and now Delora is dead because of me. I covered my face with my hands as a too familiar grief bubbles up inside of me. Delora, oh my god, why am I crying? Delora made a choice to protect you, Lucette, just like Garland made his choice to protect Jurian. The only thing we can do now is make sure their sacrifices weren't in vain. Here. Waltz gently pushes a mug toward me. If there's one thing Delora taught us, it's that hot chocolate makes everything better. I stare at the mug and remember the last time I had hot chocolate with Delora. I would never have thought the drink I shared with her so many days ago would be the last. I bite my lip to keep myself from crying. So what do we do now? The plan hasn't changed. We still need to stop Hilda and save the king. But how is the question? Waltz's voice is quiet. Lady Parfait, does he know what Parfait plans to do? You know as well as I do that there is only one way now, Waltz. Parfait quickly explains what she told me about destroying the Lucius to destroy the Tenebrarum. But if we do so, by destroying the Lucius, you will die. I refuse to let that happen, Lady Parfait. Dolores sacrificed her life to have Princess Lucette bring back Neverland, and now you're telling us that was useless and that there is no other way. If any of you have an alternative, please tell us. I don't want to lose any more of you over my mistake, but we cannot lose you either. I have a suggestion. Let me get this straight. Lady Parfait is going to act as bait to lure Hilda out of the palace into the gates. And the rest of us will help distract her long enough so that you can get to your father. Once the king is safely at the march and Mother cannot use him as a bargaining chip anymore, after that, we will have nothing left to lose. We will all be able to go out against Mother. The efforts we spared in bringing back Neverland will not go to waste. Waltz will use his magic to give us the upper hand. Though to be honest, I would still like to try and reason with her one last time. Princess Hilda cannot be. I cannot accept that your death is the only thing that will achieve our goal in stopping Mother. You told me before that Mother was a kind person. If I could somehow reach out to who she used to be, then perhaps it is possible that we could end this without any additional bloodshed. Everyone turns silent, their faces grim. I know this is not the best and most concrete plan, but please let me try it. I want to hope that the person my mother used to be is still there. This is my fight as well. I need to do something. The least I can do is save my father and stop Mother without Parfait needing to sacrifice herself. It will be dangerous, but I beseech all of you, please help me. I want to believe that my old friend is still in there as well. Okay, let's do this. Ooh. Chapter 10? Chapter 10, The Hunter. It took a lot to convince everyone that I need to enter the palace alone. It is the people outside who are fighting Mother that need the greater strength. Bringing any one of them with me would have greatly diminished that strength. I must quickly find the king. Mother always made sure to leave the king in the throne room whenever she left, so it follows that she will leave him there now. It's too quiet in here. I push open the doors and stop in the doorway. The king is sitting on his throne with a vacant expression fixed to his face. He does not so much as flinch as I step inside. I tentatively make my way to the throne. Your Majesty? He does not speak. His eyes remain fixated in the same place as if he is looking through me. Is he gone forever? Angielle needs you. The king I know would never leave his kingdom to ruin. I am standing close enough to him that I could reach out and touch him if I wanted to. What do I have to do to save you? Oh, so now you're being nice to him. I whirl around and place myself in between the king and 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿. All those years you had the opportunity to reach out to him, but you never did. So I guess the king had to be missing his soul for you to care about him. What are you doing here, 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿? Someone had to keep an eye on the old man. The queen thought someone might try to take the old man while she was busy. I had a feeling it would be you who would return. You can't bear the thought of losing someone else, can you? What are you gonna do then? I'm not leaving without the king. 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿 is silent as he makes his way toward me. I am not entirely sure how I'm going to stop him, but I will not move. I cannot let him take the king, and I will not succumb to his threats. It is at that moment, just as he is about to reach me, that he suddenly drops to his knees and puts a hand to his chest, his expression pained. I just need a little more time. What is happening to him? He manages to talk to me through gritted teeth. You shouldn't have come here alone, especially not with a big bad wolf. It's my job to destroy you, you know. He flashes me a wicked grin, but the expression is shockingly short-lived. It is replaced by a soft smile. But this big bad wolf can't do that. You can't destroy a person you've fallen in love with. What? How are you in love with me? 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿 looks at me amused. How? Blame Fritz. This was never meant to happen, but I can't help feelings that were there from the get-go. The queen wasn't pleased with your knight, so she tried to erase him forever. But he hung on. He was pretty sure if you could be strong, so could he. He looks up at me with such sadness, I actually feel guilt stir within me, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think Fritz could ever deserve you. Deserve me. But he is more worthy of you than I will ever be. I'm nothing more than a moth drawn to your fire. I can only ever be burned by you. Maybe Fritz will have better luck. What is happening? Shadows begin to gather on 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿's feet and start to slowly swirl up the length of his body. Does it mean Fritz is coming back? I know this is the only thing you would ever want from me. I just wanted to tell you how I felt, just that. Gods know that Fritz is incapable. But he is capable of one thing. He's a good hunter. He defeated me fair and square to save Little Red, and now I have no choice but to step aside. So Fritz has overpowered 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿? Try to miss me, princess. Think about me every now and then. That would be enough. 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐿, what are you? Goodbye, my princess. Why am I crying? I'm so sick of this game making me cry. This is like the third time I've cried this episode. He smiles at me, his cocky grin faded into a gentle smile. The shadows cloak him fully, making him little less than a silhouette. Oh my god. I keep myself firmly positioned in front of my father. The darkness eventually dissipates, and there, standing in the moonlight, is a familiar face. Fritz! Fritz? I'm back. Oh my god! I look at him with blurry eyes. I'm sorry for taking so long, princess. I'm running before I even realize my feet are moving. I'm overwhelmed with so many emotions, none of which I could put a name to in this moment. I know only that I'm happy. So happy Fritz is back. Aww! I throw my arms around his neck and kiss him. Fritz pulls his arms around my waist, pulling me closer. Oh my god! Ah! him! This is Fritz's heartbeat, his scent, his warmth. He came back to me. Thoughts whirl through my foggy head. I step away from him ever so slightly, suddenly aware of the heat in my cheeks. Wait, did I just kiss Fritz? I cannot bring myself to move away from his grasp, but I suddenly cannot bring myself to look up at him either. Why did I just... Fritz's gentle laugh brings me back to my senses. Though it is hard to pierce the feelings inside of me, I can at least be certain that I love the smile he is giving me right now. This feels like a dream. It does. Aw, he's blushing! And not just because of what happened, but because Fritz is here, really here. Fritz leans forward to slowly brush a strand of hair away from my face. My heart pounds in my chest at the subtle touch. Once again, my mind is reeling with considerations. If the princess says it isn't a dream, then it must be real, because I trust her with all my heart. Oh, I thought I lost you for good. I do not flinch away when Fritz pulls me closer so that I am resting against his chest. But how did this happen? Did you overwhelm Varg? Varg erased himself. How is that possible? He's always had that ability, but he's never had any reason to consider using it before. Then why now? Because he cared for you. My love for you is so strong it must have affected him too. You love me? Varg said the same thing and he blamed Fritz, so it is true? Fritz smiles and I feel his warmth spread inside me like sunlight. Always, Lucette. Well, 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 this is quite the scandal. Oh, God, it's gross. Okay, romance over. Time to be put in action. Fritz moves to stand in front of me. My queen is not going to be pleased. If my curse was so weak that even Sir Fitzgerald could break it, I do not think even I am safe from her wrath. But I believe her disappointment in me will be second to the disappointment she feels for you. After all, you chose a lowly knight. How dare you? Princess. I stopped short at Fritz's tone. You have an important task, don't you? The king. But Mithros, trust me. Fritz releases my hand to pull out his sword, sinking easily into a ready stance. I'll protect you. You think you could possibly prevail over me? No. When you have no king, no power at all. Don't make me laugh. Fritz strikes his slash quick and clean, taking Mithros by surprise. Fritz manages to cut his sword through his shoulder. Ooh. Mithros hisses as he clutches his bleeding shoulder. The hatred is bright in his eyes. As Fritz rushes Mithros, I run toward the king. You think a mere swordsman can best one of the queen's best apprentices? I'd be more wary if I were you, Sir Mithros. I approach the king, who has yet to move from his spot. What do I do? How can I possibly move him? I need him to wake up. But how? Your Majesty, I have been selfish. I was always so concerned with my own feelings and my own pain. I reach out a trembling hand and set it atop one of his hands. Now I realize you were trying to help. It may have been lackluster, but you genuinely tried. I've been so unfair to you, just like Mother was. I do not if words are enough to make up for what I've done, but I'm sorry. I am sorry for being so cruel to you. Please, I need you. I stare hard into my father's eyes, but there is no movement, no recognition. I dip my head in mourning and bite my lip as I try to think of another way to save him. It worked. But my thoughts subside when a flash of light permeates my vision. It is only for a moment, but when I look up, I can suddenly see life in my father's eyes. Lucette? Your Majesty. I reach out to hug him and he wraps his arms around me. I feel like I've been asleep for a long time, and then I heard your voice. It sounded as if you needed me. What has happened? He eyes the motion behind me, raises his eyebrows. He attempts to stand, but his knees shake and buckle. I dug underneath one of his arms to help him back onto the throne. The king stiffens as he glances the battle ensuing behind me. Sir Mithros and Sir Fitzgerald? What is going on here? The king has broken the enchantment? Impossible. I told you not to underestimate her. Your Majesty, we need to get you out of here. Oh no! Why is it one thing after the other? What is happening here? Mother suddenly materializes in the center of the room, standing right before Mithros and Fritz, who has the witch at sword point against the front doors. But Mother is not alone. She has Parfait! Mother has Parfait in a tight grip, and the moment I call her name, she releases her and Parfait tumbles to the floor. Crimson stains her dress. Parfait, you're bleeding. Parfait does not move to acknowledge me. Faye would not let go, so I had to bring her with me. Not that it matters. What did you do to her? Where are the others? They were treated like cowards, persistent things. I would have killed them had Faye not sacrificed herself. I let out a sigh of relief. They're all okay and alive. You still care so much about these traitors. I cannot understand your attachment to them. Mother turns her attention away from me and to the two men who are at a standstill. Mithras, you disappoint me. Oh no. With a flick of her hand, Fritz is pulled away from Mithras and across the throne room toward me. I move to steady Fritz as he tumbles beside me. I am sorry, my queen. I have given you too many chances to prove yourself worthy. You have failed me too many times, Myth. You are of no use to me anymore. But my queen, I have done everything you wanted me to. Please, give me one more chance. I promise Silence! Mother's voice is as cold and sharp as ice. Leave before I erase you from my sight. Please, my queen. Mother casts a spell at Mithras that is all too familiar. It is the same spell she used to kill Dolora. Mithras does not even have a chance to defend himself as Mother's spell shocks his body. Such a pest. I don't even know why I kept that useless fool all these years. I slowly turn to look at Mithras. He is no longer standing, but lays and moving on the floor. I feel bile rising in my throat. I cannot believe Mother just did that to him. How could you take away the man's life so easily, Hildur? How can you be so heartless? It is the first time I ever heard my father speak to Mother that way. Heartless? I am heartless. Humans shattered my heart many years ago when you hunted my kind. You did this to me. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice movement. In moments, Parfait moves to stand before us, blocking us from Mother. Even though her clothes are soaked in blood and she is clearly wounded, Parfait has never looked so regal before. You. Parfait's hands move before resting over her chest where light begins to gather in her hands. In the blink of an eye, a glittering golden crystal appears above her hands. Is that the Lucius? But the light the Lucius is emanating is uneven, and as I look closer, I can see that it is cracked. What are you doing? The only thing that can stop you. My heart plummets as I realize what Parfait is going to do. Parfait, no! If Parfait hears me, she gives no indication. If you do this, you'll die, Faye. You'll die and remove all magic from Angielle forever. Nothing else will stop you, will it? Your hatred for the humans, the corruption from the Tenebrarum, it runs too deep. I see that now. Magic was never used to be used with malice, Hildur. So as long as witches can be corrupted, magic will always pose a threat. I can't allow that to happen. I want to change things with Dolora, but what gives you the right to decide what to do with the magic? I am the Lucius Barrier. I have a responsibility to maintain balance, but I can see that there can be no balance when the crystalline exists. Light begins to gather, first around Parfait's feet and then around her body. It slowly begins to make its way to Mother. In no time at all, the light swarms around their bodies. A white crystal suddenly appears in front of Mother, the Tenebrarum. I won't let you do this, Faye. It is too late for that. The golden light of the Lucius intensifies. I can hear the crystal shattering from the inside out. No! The Tenebrarum breaks soon after, its fragments slowly fading with the bright light. Mother and Parfait's images begin to do the same, despite Mother's struggle. Both they and the crystalline slowly dissipate into the mist. Oh my god, they're disappearing? No! I lunge forward, but Fritz's arms are suddenly around my waist, holding me still. Mother snarls as she attempts to escape Parfait, but the light around her creates a thick box she cannot escape from. You would die for the humans that have hunted my kind because of their fairy tales. No, I'm dying for you, Hildur, so that for once I might save you from yourself. Mother chokes a laugh. You are a fool, Faye. Perhaps I am, but I at least will die with hope in my heart. Oh my god. Mother turns to look at me in the blinding light. Parfait's concentration never wavers as she turns to settle her eyes on me as well. Mother's face is fading in the glow, but her voice is clear. I truly did love you, Lucette. Everything I've done, everything I did out of love. Parfait smiles at me gently as a silent goodbye. Oh my god. There was a brief burst of light, and for a few moments I am blinded. When my vision returns, I see Fritz first. He is staring where Parfait and Mother had been only moments ago. On the floor? Oh my gosh. On the floor where they stood moments ago, there is now only dust. Oh wow. That got me tearing up. With the loss of the crystalline, magic vanished from Angielle. Wow, that's so different from the other routes. All the fairytale curses broke simultaneously, and all witches and fairies lost their power. As it disappeared, I turned to an education centered around the knowledge of Angielle rather than magic. I decided back then that I would do anything to help Angielle and its people, and it needed to start first by educating myself. I started to follow my father on his trips around the kingdom. I had even started to accompany Emily on all her trips outside the palace. Fritz has remained by my side for the past month. He comes with me every day I visit the graves. Carefully so as not to disturb the flowers Jurian had left earlier, I leaned down to place my lilies by each gravestone. Garland, Delora, Parfait, and the last is always the hardest. Why am I crying? I need to stop crying, please. With a deep breath, I walk up to the fourth gravestone. I stare at it for a long time before I finally set a lily down. Mother. Fritz and I stand there in silence as we grieve for the lives lost that day. I look up into the sky and smile as I stare at the warm rays of the sun. I shift my gaze at Fritz, who smiles at me. He has never left my side since that day. Fritz has always told me that he loves me, but I have yet to tell my own feelings. Fritz. Yes? I didn't have the chance to ask this before, but how can you possibly love me? I have been so horrible, not just to you, but everyone around me. Fritz's expression softens. He gently tilts my chin upwards so that I have to look at him as he speaks. For as long as I've known you, you've had to deal with things no one should have to go through. You were forced to live in the Queen's shadow because others refused to see past your relationship to her. You've been alone for so long, and I can see how much you were hurting. But despite all that pain, you remain strong. You've always been strong. From the beginning, all I've wanted was to be someone you could rely on, someone you could trust, someone who would always be there for you. I must have trusted him from the beginning, too. Fritz was the only one I allowed to get close to me. I do not look away from him, but instead I stare back into his eyes with conviction. I know I may not have shown it, but I did trust you. I've always been able to tell you wear your heart on your sleeve. I do not. Fritz laughs, and the slight cockiness of his smile reminds me a little bit of someone else. It's been years since you became my responsibility. Once I learned your tales, you became an open book. He surprised me by putting his forehead in mine. The feeling of him so close is comforting. I love the way you're so careful with whatever you consider precious. I love how your eyes light up when you eat a good pastry. I love whenever you rely on me. Aww. I bite down on my lip as I blink back tears. No one has ever had that kind of faith in me. Before I knew it, you'd made a spot for yourself in my heart. And I begin to hope that one day I could be as dear to you as you are to me. I stare up at Fritz, the tears pooling in my cheeks. He wipes away a tear before it can roll down my cheek. I've never felt so cherished before. I do not step away when he leans forward to plant a kiss on my forehead. Aww. I hold out my hand and Fritz comes to my side. I feel the warmth of his fingers and smile. When things begin to overwhelm me, he never fails to calm me. I grip his hand more tightly. Lucette, I love you. Aww, you know that, right? I've known for a while, but it's nice to hear it all the same. Then I'll say it for as long as you want me to. For the rest of our lives, then? Oh my god. A princess and her knight, huh? Does that matter? No, it doesn't. Even if there was such a rule, I'd abolish it once I become queen. Fritz starts to laugh. As always, his laughter is full of so much joy, it lifts my heart. I want to hear it for the rest of my life. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to. Ah! Oh my god, that's the end! Oh! I love that! I love that! I love that! I love that ending! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I love that route! Oh my god! I can't believe that's over! No! No! Why? Why? Why is it over? I don't want it to be over. You guys! We have one more route. And then we're done with Cinderella Phenomenon. Actually, I think there's a sequel to this. So we're gonna do that, but oh, the 𝐍𝐸 kissing her. Oh my god. Oh. But yeah, everyone, oh no, it's when Varg was putting the knife to his neck. But yeah, everyone, I hope, you did enjoy this, episode. I hope you guys enjoyed Fritz's route. I hope you guys enjoyed the other 3 routes, Rod, Karma, and Rumpel. Yeah, and now we just have Waltz left, and we saw his adult form in this episode. Oh my god, like, we finally saw his adult form. He looks really weird as an adult. Maybe just because we haven't seen him before. I think it looks so weird, but it's okay. Yeah, everyone, we just have one more route, and then we are done with Cinderella Phenomenon, and I don't want it to end, but yeah, I will hope you guys enjoyed Fritz's route, and I will see you with the last route of Cinderella Phenomenon in the next episode. Bye, everyone!